Yeah, we've seen Spain sometimes get unlucky in these match races. So in the past, they must be happy
Yeah.
to not lose this point, staying in the lead and managing a second point right now. So now they are very, very close to at least taking one more point in this event. As you can see, they have 4 points currently. Winning this one would put them in a tie with Netherlands. Are you looking forward to facing off with this Spanish formation, Robert?
Yeah, well, they're very, very, very good. Let's say that first. It's interesting to see what's gonna happen in the group because we played against them and it was a tie. But now we should see what happens when we both play against Ukraine because we haven't played against Ukraine, both of us.
Yep.
Maybe we take the 1 and 2 of the group, or maybe Ukraine is gonna surprise us as well and will beat us.
All right, next race coming up is going to be the 2v2 offshore racer. Quickly becoming one of my favorite events of this format.
Yeah, unusual boats, but that makes it funny to watch and interesting as well.
Especially on these big boats, you really have no margin for error. I think that's the scariest thing with it. You really have to be super agile.
Yes, and also I played it Friday. You have to be prepared for what the opponent is going to do because the boats are so big. You have to know where am I going to place the boat? Where do I want to be right now? Because you need a big like space to get the boat around the marks. It's very easy to touch the gate or the opened mark because the boat is so big and it makes a very, very large circle when you try to go around marks.
What do you think the best strategy is? Is it to maybe just slow down, luff your sails, and let the first boat go ahead of you? Or sometimes pick up the penalty and try to keep ahead even though you're going to be slowed down for 10 seconds?
It depends on the situation. When someone is slowing you down in 2v2, you should run as the first boat, and so you have control. You should not stop both, and the last boat should go as well, or he could avoid it. You don't want to be far down. It's fine as long as one of your teammates is in control, because when you are in last place, your teammate is in first place, he can still help you. When your teammate is in second and their first boat is going to stop, you can stop with him because their first boat is going to come back as well. And then you have to make sure you're going to stop the third boat of them as well. It's like very tactical when to come back because we all know the first place doesn't matter. It's all about not being the last place. That's where the teamwork has to be done to get one of the other teams in last and maybe in last and second last. So you are almost sure of the win. You get a team in last and second last, the race mostly is over because then no one can help the teammate.
I'm sorry. I just learned something really important. I'm not going to interrupt you. Yeah, your position is interesting. The teamwork is the most essential thing about the 2v2. And I want to say to Jay Parejo, I'm sorry, I didn't know your first name was Justin. And I was calling you Juan. But I now I know it's Justin Parejo. I'll remember it a little bit better next time.
No, G Parejo is Jesus Parejo.
Jesus Parejo. Of course, how could I not know that? My apologies then. We streamers, we're really, really, really bad with names. That's something you'll find on every channel.
At least we don't say Papero, so.
Not yet. But we've tortured a lot of names here. Oh, Fermansky picking up a penalty 5 seconds from the start. He's going to be controlled at the pin side.
And the other Polish boat is being pushed outside of the starting line.
Yeah, we got Whiskey Tom who took a port start.
Yes, I think that's not even a bad thing to do. I think the Spanish boats are taking a risk with splitting up. He's going with them now because splitting up in a 2v2 is not a clever thing to do because then one will be first and one will be probably lost if you split up. So in a 2v2, I would always stay close to my teammate. So no one is going to be first by ML or is going to be lost by ML.
Right now they're going to be able to cross in and hopefully squeeze the two Polish boats into their position, but
Poland might
still
have a chance with the Whiskey Tom boat. It seems like he is in front of Carlos Parejo.
Yeah, don't trust your screens right now. It's telling you that Spain is ahead, but still a lot can happen in this third race. We see Spain trying to get secure the point, secure the point for tonight, but they definitely want to go for the win as well.
Whiskey Tom needs to be aggressive on the ley line now. Yeah, he is going down. Very good. So give him no space to tech. Now Carlos teched in the zone, so he could have still threw him. Yeah, he is like, I don't want to say lucky, but Carlos starts to mark. But the Polish boat could have touched Carlos as well there.
Formansky having to pick up that penalty off of Luis right here. That was kind of a dirty move, but also completely allowed by the game.
Yeah, sometimes we see moves which really won't be like legal in real life sailing. But I started to accept it because we just play what the game allows us to do. Bearing down in the upwinds is really not sportsman move. You have to be prepared because you know your opponent is going to do it, so you can be prepared to it as well. See, now Carlos is want to take one of them out very much.
Oh.
And he could...
Are the Polish boats going to avoid each other? And now Spain picking up a penalty.
Doing a very good job penalizing. He's there.
Very great maneuver.
Carlos. I think Luis was a little bit too polite there with not sailing them really far out of the ley line, but he has the inside right of the mark now.
Alright, Whiskey Tom having to pick up that penalty here and bear away to try to not stay in the wind shadow of Carlos, but Carlos anticipating his move and managing to tack ahead. Wow, that was one of the most exciting downwind mark roundings I've seen.
And I think the Spanish team has practiced a bit with the zones. I'm not sure because the zones in the offshore racer at the gate, the room zone is interesting because it's overlapping, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Zones overlap each other. So the rooms, the mark room is pretty messed up, if I can say that. Carlos used it with going in there, but went to the other zone and went back, so he still could penalize Whiskey Tom at the mark. It works pretty messed up, but it can help you out in the offshore racer because it's not the usual rules you will get there in the downwind.
Okay. No, I hadn't noticed that yet. I don't really play a lot of offshore racer.
The zones, the circle, it's overlapping with the other circle. So you can have overlap on two boats, which is pretty, strange. It's not a thing you will see in real life. The gates will be further outside in these big boats. Maybe Poland can try to make a move in the downwind. They seem to be still quite close.
Yeah, they're within reach. I'm going to pop into an aerial view and really get an idea of what kind of wind shadow Whiskey Tom can project here over on Luis.
Now it's also a point of not covering each other. What they're trying to do now is Whiskey Tom going under Luis, and the other boat slowing him down, so Whiskey Tom can get an overlap, so Luis cannot go anywhere.
We can see Carlos coming back and trying to help his teammate, slowing down. So now Whiskey Tom has to take care of Carlos as well.
I think it would be better if Whiskey Tom went for Luis as well instead of splitting up. Now he can make a move because Romansky is still covering Carlos Parejo.
Which he did. He made a move over on Formansky, putting a penalty, but the Polish boats could almost put themselves in the right position here if they had managed to squeeze ahead into first and third. But now, wonderful sound effects. Thank you, guys. Still a lot of changes to be made to the game, and these sound effects is definitely one of the things I would be most happy if we could change.
When you try to see the race stats, it's not very pleasant sound to have in the background.
Exactly. Alright, so that was race 3. We have 3 points for Spain so far, so we know that Spain 2 will have at least 1 point tonight coming out of the event, and will stay within reach of Team Netherlands. As we saw, they were in the same group. Really quickly now, this is the second regatta of the evening that's going to be planned after tonight. And it will be in Group D. So Group D has Great Britain as right now leading the leaderboard. Spain 4, Spain 3, Turkey, Italy 2, and Venezuela. This is probably one of the scariest groups also in the league.
And they have the same amount of points, Turkey and Spain, Turkey and Italy, I see now. So it's going to be important because some will gain on the leaderboard and some will go down on the leaderboard.
Definitely. Stay with us tonight if you guys want to watch that race, and you can watch all of these events if you subscribe to the either subscribe to the Discord or check out sailranks.com, and you'll know what events will have will be planned, will be coming up, and then you can either watch it on this channel or you can pick it up directly in the game. You can even start streaming them yourselves. We'll show you how to do that. And Germany right now in 6th position of Group E. They've picked up 2 points so far. Group E is the group where there's been the most draws in this event so far. So a lot of teams are within just 2 or 3 points of one another. You can see the first and the last team only have 3 points. A win from Germany would put them tied with France 3. What do you think about that? Who do you think in this very, very competitive group of Group E, I'm sorry, will come out on top? I couldn't say whether it's going to be, Argentina, Emirates.
Right now, and well, Germany is a big name in the eSailing world. We know Roxy Joni, Lacufia, even more good players in the Open Series as well. So I'm quite surprised they're at the bottom, but I think they might gain some places. I expect it because they have so much experience in their team. And the other teams are surprising me as well with their good performance and steady team play. Because sometimes you are watching races and you see them making mistakes, but they all seem to be quite controlling races, and that's good to see. We have a very competitive group doing this regatta.
Yeah, in Group E, I was a little bit surprised not to see Germany win 7-0 versus Brazil. That's what I had gotten used to. But no, Brazil came back and put won 4-2, taking their first win in the event. And USA 2 has been defending. I think France 3 is definitely going to be the scariest team on this in this group. But be careful. I can't tell you where they're going to finish in the first 3 positions. All right, We've got 4 boats in the lobby right now. bring you to the fourth race of the evening, which is the F50 race, 3v3.
It's still not a shame to be at the bottom of the leaderboard because the level is quite high and you still can go to the knockout stage and the silver fleet stage.
I mean, absolutely.
But it's not the end of the regatta.
If that was what was coming out of what, if what you understood was I was trying to rank these teams, I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. You have the best players in the game.
It's very, very, very tough sailing there. It's not like blaming anyone. It's like you need to have like the little experienced players as well. And I think this regatta also is there for them to grow and become better because there will be a season 2.
Absolutely. How many types of esports will you be able to create your own team and go race against the world champion? I don't know that many esports where you can do that, but you can do that in the eSailing Nations League. If you wanted to create your team, if you didn't even have enough players from your country to play, you could join the international team, which is headed by Stipe coach from Croatia. And they're doing super well so far.
How good of an idea is it to put an international team for the players who could not find a national team? It's amazing.
Yeah.
Because in Greece or in Croatia or in Czechia, we don't have a very, very big community.
And we know they're some of the best players in the game. Just to mention a few of those countries, but I see exactly who you're talking about. And definitely some very good sailors, even in Czech Republic, which is a completely landlocked country.
Yes. It's impressive, and I think the international team will come far in the regatta.
But you've got the champion, you've got the world champion racing tonight against a lot of people who are not necessarily pros at Virtual Regatta. We're 16 seconds to the start. You have the Sail GP champion Mike O'Donovan Deja Vu, who is racing on Team Great Britain. You have L1 from former 2019 world champion racing on Team France 2. I mean, this is definitely an event where pros, the very best pros, are meeting up with other players who are just, I wouldn't say amateurs, but definitely starting out in the competitive eSailing scene. Spain taking a good start, but putting here a penalty on Vari, and Poland losing their advantage on the first reach.
I think we see Cardona here again helping his team.
Yeah, that penalty here was provoked by Juan Cardona and forcing the two Polish boats to put a penalty on one another. Spain taking a comfortable
Jesus is Malo, he hits the mark, so it's like when you're in first, it's not the biggest problem, but it's hard to control these beasts round of the marks. Especially when you come to the downwind mark with 50 knots of boat speed, you will see some boats hitting the mark, and fully understandable.
And you know there's nothing you can do. I mean, sometimes you just have to go for it.
Yeah, true.
There's
and
no tack that you can play, that you can do in time. This thing doesn't tack quickly.
I know in the beginning of the game, you still had to do a 360 to get a penalty away. It's something they removed. Maybe it would be funny in the team racing as well, because now when you do a mark, when someone is doing a mark block, you basically can smash through them, and only your boat gets slowed down. In the past, you had to do a 360. I don't know.
I remember the very first, the early versions of Virtual Regatta having that rule.
It was chaos as well, but I think maybe in team racing it would be fun. I don't know, maybe they should make an option whether you can turn it on and off in custom races. So VRI, if you're listening, I don't think they will listen.
I don't think they are, I'm sorry to say. While we see Spain leading ahead in the downwind, taking definitely a much more comfortable position now and extending almost 300 meters ahead of the first Polish boat.
Yeah, this very dominant as well.
Don't blink. The F50 races just goes by so fast that if you miss one move, it's over.
Yep. Yeah, they play this boat also very much in the Team Race League, and we might see them hit a boundary or something. It would be good for the game, but not good for the Spanish team. But then we
Well, we just saw Vari pick up a penalty from hitting the mark. That was unfortunately not going to help him and his teammates.
Yeah, it's sad, but I think Spain is proving again. Spain too is proving again why they're like so hyped in this regatta.
That's definitely what we were trying to say.
Until now, they've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the 6v6, and they had 1 in the 1v1, and they had 1, 2 in the 2v2. Maybe they can get 1, 2, 3 in the 3v3.
Would you think? I mean, I don't think we've seen this so far. A team winning so comfortably ahead. That would be really impressive.
We should notice if they can win without any point, like without losing any point. So they should win the 4v4 with a 1, 2, 3, 4. 5v5 with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be very impressive.
We haven't
it would
really
show the others how strong they are.
We haven't calculated yet what exactly will be the tiebreaker in the eSailing Nations League. We're hoping there won't be too many tie situations, but it looks like there could be a couple in certain groups, so it'll be interesting to see the number of wins and the number of points made. Closing in on the end of this race, Spain is still in 1, 2, and 3. Congratulations, really. I mean, what you have to say is this is impressive from the Spanish team right now. We know how good all of these competitive players are, and managing to score, I mean, just 6 points in this event was
yeah, incredible.
They're gonna I can see Jesus Parejo putting a penalty on his teammate just for lulz.
Yeah, I don't think it's a disrespect to Poland, but I think it's just having fun with each other.
I think you have to be pretty sure of yourself when you're going to do that.
Yeah, really show how confident they are.
Definitely strong finish, strong start, strong finish. So there we go. We have a full win for Spain tonight with 4 points. We're going to see how Poland reacts in the last 2 races. We're coming up is the 4v4 and 5v5, J70 and Laser. Usually fun races as well. So that's the end. That's going to be the score for this first regatta of the evening. But then stick with us. There's going to be Turkey versus Italy 2. Kan Mazlumka plus Italy 2, I believe, is not the MCS Italy team, but one of the other formations. I'll have to go check really quick. There's so many teams in this event.
Yeah, I think MCS should be the Italy 1.
Yeah, so. MTS formation is Italy 1, and Italy 2 is headed... let me give you that really quick. I'm still not familiar with every team in this event. I apologize.
It's such a big event. It's nothing to be ashamed about, I guess, because it's like very big. Like lots of teams competing. Is there a number of how many teams?
30 teams. 30 teams in phase 1. Can you imagine?
And if we think we have 10 players per team, it's 300 people sailing the regatta.
All right, so Italy 2 is a team headed by PS Cutel? Peace Cuddle? They include especially Tommy Tamble, familiar name for anyone who's been on the virtual regatta inshore scene for a while. They've got Moro Di Napoli, Mario Prodigio, and Lorenzo Sorrenti. Not the most familiar with the Italian teams, I have to say. They're usually very strong individually, but I haven't seen them as a team very much so far. There's no very strong Italian team in TRL, for example.
That's true. We only have seen, we know Luka Kozlovic, I think we all
Yes.
know him. He's very consistent. And Filippo Lanfranchi, also a very good player. There are like a couple of big names. Then you cannot have a team with only two big names. You have to be like really, really a team working together. So I think
Shout
we
out
should
to
see how that's going to work out.
Lozai. I don't know how I'm gonna pronounce it.
I think Lozaija.
Lozaija. Thank you. Yeah, the D'Amato brothers, Filippo Lanfranchi, Velista, Velato Piano. Shout out to those players, not necessarily participating, but representing Italy in the game.
I think we have some bigger names in the Turkish team, no?
Yeah, Dog Arbs, Kan Mazlumka, aka Havuk, Umut, Emet, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce the second name, just too many accents. I'd rather not actually go so far as offend people. We'll give them team numbers.
Now the 4v4 starting. Interesting to see.
I think we're going to have a Spanish boat try a downwind start. Hmm?
Yes,
there is no... yes, here we go. There's no...
Luis. Yeah.
No spinnaker.
So you can do like a couple of things when coming with the spinnaker. The most important thing if the spinnaker is gonna come down, because there are some updates where the spinnaker won't go down after 20 seconds. Maybe he's playing on a different device where it still works.
Yes, if you're still playing on Android, I think you can still do spinnaker downwind starts, but looks like this is the case. It doesn't work anymore on PC or on Apple devices. It comes up, spinnaker comes back down, and clean start for almost everyone. Luis
with the spinnaker getting the penalty. I think he had too much power. No, he was just too curious to race, I guess. It's very strong to come down with the spinnaker and get into that gap with the speed you have. And you can get so close under someone, you can hold him there until when you want to start the trigger. You get a lot of control when you can come down with the spinnaker. It's very, very strong. Now it's a bit hard to see which boat is which boat because they're all red, but you can see it when you look carefully. I think Poland actually has a chance here, especially now he's penalizing Ramon Parejo.
Timjanek.
Also, Cardona is being cornered by Wari, so maybe interesting to see how he's trying to come out that situation, because right now Cardona is not be able to attack. Maybe it's interesting to see how like the world champion will come out of a situation like that. What I expect him to do is go down very much.
Formansky picking up a penalty here from Carlos.
Yeah, very, very aggressive move. And now
yeah, well, Vari, nice, very smart tack here from Vari, managing to stay ahead of the world champion, but not tacking, deciding not to tack a second time. I'm not sure that was the smartest. He had Juan Cardona right there. Shouldn't have let him go, in my opinion.
I think he had to go another time because now he's slung Formansky as well. Don't worry, you can do it. Okay, Formansky is going with Luis. Interesting because Wari will face the world champion again on the starboard tack. And there he goes. Gonna be close.
Juan's tacking down, but Vari managing to put a penalty on Juan. And here, unfortunately, Formansky putting I guess that was the tack a little bit too late while Luis had his sails left.
Yes, and now he's gonna face Carlos again. Wari. What's he gonna do here? Cardona is gonna stop at the mark to penalize all the Polish.
Up here at the first mark, managing to put one on Timjanek.
I'm curious if he's gonna try it another time because I think his team should be fine already.
He's a very competitive player. He's trying to push Mitsuko out already.
Oh, we can go down on the other boat as well. Yeah, very effective wind block. Because Luis is in reach of. How are we gonna Mitsuko now? So they were in a worse position than Poland, but now John did like that, so they all have control. And can jibe right after the mark to get the left-hand side of the other boats. Still, Poland has a boat in first place, so they still have control, which is going to be tough.
I don't know if you just saw this. Luis Parejo putting two pens, one after another, 2 pens in a row on Poland, and now looking for a third pen. Not going to try anything too risky. We're still on the first downwind here. And Poland can still pull an ace out of its sleeve.
And now it's going to be tough for Timjanek. How he's going to get away from that side. This is not the place where you want to be for Timjanek.
Vary picking up a penalty on the mark.
Now Timjanek will get another one from the inside room.
And you can see Carlos Parejo just chasing down Vary in first position. A little bit open still. We're going to watch what's going on in second and third position because I think that's where the race is going to play out.
Yeah, and Cardona, right, are very aggressive on the fourth place. Luis went quite aggressive on the other two boats, which result he hit the mark. I guess, I'm not sure. I could not really see it because 3 boats were very close. I don't think Luis is a Parejo brother. And I think Luis is from somewhere else, but he is good friends with the Parejo family. But I'm not sure.
I just assume every Spanish player on this team is part of the Parejo family. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I just assumed
that I think you're quite good when you assume a Spanish guy has Parejo or Juan in the name.
Ooh, Juan picking up that penalty here off of Vary. They're playing so close together, so many boats right now packed together that it's kind of hard to maneuver.
Still not over. The race is opened up again. Very well done from Poland because there was a moment they were the 3 last boats.
It's incredible that there's already a family in the eSailing, you know, that's got this name out there. It's a bit like in MMA where you've got the Royce family, or I don't know, there aren't many sports where dynasties are started so young. So hats off to the Parejo family for that. And so far for this
Spain still had the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, they have the 1, 2, 3. I was about to say they're looking to maybe put Luis in the 4th position and keep this really good streak going.
Stop, but I now expect Luis to slow one of them very much. Because when they have 1, 2, and I think Ramon is still in reach for one of them, they should make the 1 and 2 run, and Luis should slow one very much.
Let's see.
So if Ramon gets a penalty, he cannot become the 7th boat. Because Luis slowed the 7th boat very much. Maybe they're far enough ahead. If I look at this, they did it very well in the upwind.
Here we go. Ramon now getting picked up in Vary's wind shadow.
Yes, I think Ramon is placing himself at some place where if Wari is gonna cover him, a teammate is covering Wari as well. See what I mean? Where Ramon jibes is wind shadow for Rory as well. Now Rory can gain some meters. But the police boat jibes again, so Ramon will jibe also in the wind shadow.
Luis picking up a penalty here in last position, but oh, we've got a game bug. This is terrible. Right at the end of the race, we've had the game crash on our end. I'm going to bring that to you in a second, but it looks like Spain just took race number 5. Sorry for the
1,
technical
2, 3,
difficulties.
And